Yes. Thanks so much for joining me back today. Yeah. Um 10 more days to go. Um okay, I want to share today the process is key understanding perspective. Okay, this is actually chapter 4 for my books. Okay. Thank you for supporting me and please click on the link. Yep. Thanks for sharing. For those of you that managed to catch my live stream last night, I believe you got a glimpse of what is in store for you tonight in these sessions. As for those that missed my previous stream, don't worry, just click on the link in the post and you'll be able to watch an encore of my entire live recording last night. Okay, just click on the link. Okay, so let's jump right into today's stream. For today, I'll be sharing with you the importance of understanding different perspective. I believe many of you would have come across this saying about the half-filled cup of water. I will just briefly touch on this to refresh some of your memories. When there's a half-filled cup of water, an optimistic person will look at it and say, it's a half-filled cup of water. And what happened to a pessimistic person? They would tend to see it as a half-empty cup of water. This simply displays the significant difference in terms of perspectives. So why am I talking about this as simple as this? I believe even teenagers are aware of this story, but the question is how many people actually apply this in our daily lives? Not many, I would say. Okay, it's definitely easy to understand such concepts or theory behind such deep statements, especially when we Google. Then all of you can know from the website. However, understanding something and not applying it is what makes successful people stand out. Okay, but that's what I thought at first. Do you know that this statement also teaches us something else? It teaches us the importance of understanding that different perspective, which is exactly what we will be discussing today. Many tend to look at the statement and think that this statement or story is telling us to stay positive at all times. But what it truly displays is the importance of taking different angles when you view a problem. By taking different perspective into considerations, you will not only be able to understand others, but also find a better solution for the situation. So remember, next time, look at different perspective. Okay, let me share with you an experience on how I apply this concept during the circuit breaker. When I was writing this book, the pandemic of COVID-19 had already caused significant damage to our local Singapore economy, especially towards the welfare of people and the job market in Singapore. Despite the lockdown a few months ago, many people realized that they were able to spend more time with families and even started out new creative activity which can be done in their house. Okay, I'm going to share you something. Of course, similarly, that actually apply to my family. We cannot go for holiday, but we actually can do things at home, right? So this is something which is a wonderful time. You save a lot of time not doing the transportations, going to work, and those things you can actually do it. Maybe doing something creative. Okay, take for example, I've been posting about my lunch. It's special. Why is so special about my lunch? I've been planting, and I have been also scouting around my home, and I was taking some of the wild plant to eat. Yeah, it's real. Yep. Today I have a special lunch with 10 different kind of plants. I thought this is something interesting because I can actually have some kind of curiosity, explorations, and certain kind of experiment on the tasting of the dishes. Although we cannot go overseas to other country to try out their dishes, but why not you explore in Singapore? It's a small country, but there are a lot of things that it can be done. Take for example, just for me to go around the environment, actually I can see a lot of plants that I wasn't familiar with. But because of COVID-19, thanks to COVID-19, I start to wonder and look at different plants and thinking which plant can be edible and what are the benefits to it. So it is something very useful, right? So there is opportunity in this kind of situations. What's the opportunity? I cultivated a new hobby. eating wild plant. No, actually I cultivate a hobby to actually start planting. I even experiment things like my essential oil, things like facial, things like pesticide, insecticide. Yeah, I actually DIY the sunflower oil, and I actually make some kind of insecticide, organic, using plant to take good care of my plants. Using plant to take good care of my plant. It's a very interesting experiment because it actually helped me to experiment and then give me certain kind of satisfactions when I see my plant growing strongly. It's a wonderful experience. So there's actually opportunity when you look at COVID-19. Take look at it at different kind of perspective. There are values, there are benefits to it. So don't get too caught up or too worried about, oh yeah, I'm trapped at home. There's a lot of things and getting frustrated. There is no point. Gardening for me, right, it helped me to take away my attentions. It helped me to have that peace, that zen for me. And maybe you can from there develop your own hobby, right? Okay, something to look at it at different perspective. Even though the lockdown indeed causes many economy problems, you will notice some positive influences from this crisis. From the hectic lifestyle we had, we transited into stay-home mode, completed our work remotely, and many even pick up cooking during this period. So I saw a lot of people posting and enjoying their cooking. Okay, I like the saying that goes, every crisis comes opportunity. In this pandemic alone, we saw the rapid growth of social media marketing, online shopping, and social gatherings over Zoom, of course. Yeah. Therefore, always remember to look at every problem with different perspectives. And who knows, you might just find some gold mine in a field of dirt. So keep your vision wide and clear. Don't be blinded by just the problem itself. Okay, so having perspectives is key, and it can significantly determine the outcome of how you perform in your journey towards success. If you keep on thinking about problem and busy finding the solutions, you might just forgo the possible opportunities underlying it. Since young, we are taught to find the problem and solve it, just like a math problem. But life is not a math problem. There is more than one answer to it, and in fact, there is always more than one solution to the math problem, right? So like what I mentioned in the previous stream, our lives are like sandboxes, filled with infinite possibilities, living in an era where changes are getting more and more frequent. So we can only do our best by embracing the change. And the best way to do so is to understand the different perspectives in life. It is not easy to practice this as we are humans and we have our emotions. But what I'm suggesting is that you should always keep in mind that understanding different kind of perspective can help us solve our problems, craft the solutions, and also from there spot opportunities. Therefore, keep your mind clear and keep on learning different perspective in your journey. Okay, that being said, understanding goes beyond just understanding perspective. It goes to the extent of understanding people and even society as a whole. The ability to understand different subjects in life can be extremely beneficial for you, especially as an entrepreneur. You might start thinking that, Andrew, you're just basically saying that understanding everything is important. I would say it's a yes and no. Yes, because understanding everything is an essential skill for everyone, so long as you want to survive in this world. With the right understanding, you will be able to perform at work and live your life you desire. However, understanding yourself is what it takes to improve as a person and reach greatest heights in life. You need to know yourself first before you learn to do anything else. This means to be honest to yourself, be it your emotions, your thoughts, and even your behavior. So when you set foot in the world, you will eventually have to face different situations, regardless whether you like it or not. So I will share with you my personal example. Okay, When I was at work as an engineer, we actually have to travel to other countries, and the way how other countries run in their system is not the same as Singapore. Okay, let's talk about corruptions. Okay, and bribery. Singapore has a very strict rule, right? But in other country, things might not go on the same way it works. People might be asking you for certain kind of favor when you want, maybe ask them to get an order, place an order for the engineering products that I was selling. This happened actually. This is not something uncommon. I'm sure some of you here, Singaporean, when you travel to other country, I wouldn't want to say the country name because I think there'll be a lot of argument after that. But I'm sure there are a lot of countries where the people there, they will ask you, hey, sir, if you want me to place an order, I need you to treat me to a nightclub, I need you to give me some money, etc. This is common in other country. In certain part of the country, I don't mean everything in the country. So this is something that, when you look at it, the perspective is, it is such a corrupted country. But then you can actually look at it in different kind of perspective. What perspective? Maybe because of that, because of the corruptions, there is also something that the system has to be improved. And maybe because of that, people become more strong and people become more flexible when they are dealing with business. So businessmen over there or entrepreneurs there could actually have a better strength in terms of the immunity to stress, the immunity to challenges because of the challenging situations or environment that they have. So that is actually another perspective. We cannot just look at from Singapore point of view that they have corruptions, so the country won't be doing well. I doubt so, because there are a lot of people who are doing very well in their country as a business. So the opportunity is when everything is having corruptions, but when you have a very clean kind of business, does it mean you will not do well? I doubt so, because in the country, no matter which country, there will be two sides of a coin. There will be people who are very positive about being honest, being ethical, and there are people who will think that, hey, as long as I have money, I have power, I can actually do the way I want to do. Corruptions, bribery. But we can actually, if let's say I'm like in kind of country, I'm running my business, and I want to run a proper ethical business, but the environment is such that it's corruptive, bribery. Can I say that I won't survive? I don't think so, because like what I shared, in that society, two sides of a coin, there will always be people who appreciate what you do. So why not does business with the people who appreciate, like what? People who appreciate no corruptions, strict business doing. So why not? You can actually serve that needs instead of trying to please everyone. There is no way you can please everyone, alright? So then about office politics. Okay, this is something very sensitive. I think as long as there is people, there are always politics. There are always people who want to share some idea, and then sometimes they will just maybe distort, or maybe they didn't remember correctly and they said something wrong about things. So I think when in this kind of situation, it is always important to get the information from the horse's mouth. Don't jump to conclusion or share something like, John said something, Peter said something. Sorry, I don't mean anything. I have no Peter or John in my office, so I'm just using an example. Yeah. So these are things that actually can toxic the office environment that we are in. So I think having perspective is important, and having the right perspective, go to the horse's mouth and find out who actually say that and clarify with that, rather than putting things inside your heart, right? So having perspective and having the right perspective is important. Okay, despite experiencing some extreme cases on the spectrum, I was able to understand a wider variety of perspectives from different individuals. Okay, I think that's where, because of the environment that I have to actually work with different people from different kind of society, different country, different industry. Therefore, actually broadening your own perspective can greatly help you in achieving success in not just entrepreneurship, but actually any field of work in your future. Okay, along my journey, I noticed one factor that caused many entrepreneurs to fail, which is their mindset. Okay, many of us set off on their journey to prove others that they are worthy, and this would normally result in the failure to not only prove others to even succeed in your goal, because your initial intention came from frustrations and doubts. There is a serious difference between the courage to try out something challenging just so that you can prove that you are worthy versus the courage to finishing up what you recognize as your final destination to reach. From there, you can see the fuel in the different scenarios would have already determined the outcome. So be yourself. You are who you are. Don't change your path for extremely external influence, and always check back what is the right mindset, what is the cause for your entrepreneurship. Do it for your own good, not because of doubts or whatever. Okay, be yourself. So be open to take in different perspective, and don't let it change who you are. Like I mentioned in before my other live stream previously, I'm not in the positions to determine or to define what is right or what is wrong. This is where broadness in your perspective come into play. Your empathy, experience can significantly enhance your journey towards success. So use this knowledge to your own advantage. Okay, for me, right, personally, I gained many different perspectives during my time when I took up multiple part-time jobs. That was when I was like 16, 17 years old, a teenager. What did I do for my part-time job? When I woke up for 4:30 in the morning, I'll go and give newspaper. After my polytechnic lessons, I will actually go out to give pamphlets, brochures. And then I will also conduct street survey. I was working for a company called Singapore Research company. So Singapore Research actually hired me to do street survey. I asked people about some of the things. So of course, very thick questionnaire. Usually the survey that I did will be like 10-20 pages. It's not the 3-question survey. It's 10 pages, 20 pages, that kind of street survey. So then at night, I will actually help the research company to make telemarketing call. What do I do? Usually when I make phone call, the part-time job that I do usually will require about 10 to 15 minutes from every person that I call. I know you are saying, Andrew, are you sure? You mean there are people who will give you 10 minutes or 15 minutes to speak to you? Yes, this is what I did. I call people and telling them that I want to do a survey with you, and I will persuade them to give me 10 minutes or 15 minutes so that they can help me to complete maybe a 10 pages survey. So that's what I did in telemarketing. During weekend, I will actually go to National Stadium to sell drinks, soft drinks, snacks to the people who are watching the soccer match. So these are the different jobs that I have. But you know what? Actually, when I was doing the part-time job, there's also another one that I does. I was doing modeling in for magazine, modeling catwalk on stage. So I have actually quite a lot of things, very interesting thing, and they are like different things. I will do phone call, I will do telemarketing, I will do catwalk, I will do street survey, I will do give out brochures. So 24 hours also not enough, right? Okay, but actually it's a very interesting perspective that I have gone through, because I get to see so many people and I get to talk to so many people. Such a big exposure, 5 jobs at the same time. Modeling for example, in the modeling agency, the funny thing about this is something that I think find it kind of strange. I don't know why. For some reason, right? Usually when I was doing the modeling, maybe because I'm also a young boy, 17 years old, catwalk model. So people feel that I'm more naive. So there are people who told me story. Hey Andrew, maybe you can actually go out with this guy, and then he will pay you a lot of money. Maybe one night he will pay you $500. Yeah, of course, these are things that I won't do it. But so what has that got to do with perspective? That actually helped me to understand about how we manage relationship. I mean, it's a very difficult things, I think, for a 17 years old guy to handle, right? Someone is actually offer this kind of one night for you with $500, which is a huge money. $500 for you, for a lot of people, is a huge money. But how do you actually, stand up for your own right and say, no, I'm not going out with the guy. I'm not going to earn that dirty money, $500. That is the end of it. And how do you actually not anger the person or frustrate the person by saying the correct words and not bringing myself to trouble? It is a very difficult situation actually, because I'm so young and I'm alone. I don't have a 靠山 or backup to help me to fight these people who maybe they might use violence, or maybe they will try to trick me. But these are the things that, when I'm such a young chap, I need to handle. Okay, yeah. So how to say no, not bringing myself into problem is a art. I think it's something that you will need to think through. How do you actually stand up for yourself? Tell the person that, hey, I'm not here for sale. I don't have a price tag for myself. One night, $500. No, I'm here to do proper job. I'm here to earn decent money. I will just do my catwalk and finish the job. Yeah. So this is something that a young person actually have to handle myself. So but do I get very angry with the person offering that? So this is something that, again, is perspective. You can look at that guy and say that this guy is bad. But I mean, when I look at some of the people there, right, they are like maybe twice my age, 40, 50 years old. In their era, things are not so proper and not so clean. They came from that era where it's a lot of problematic. Many years ago, Singapore have a lot of opium smoking, gambling, illegal gambling, that kind of situations. So there are people who came from that kind of era, and for them to say this kind of thing, it is normal because they came from that era. In their culture, it is normal to do that. So I also gain that kind of perspective instead of jumping the gun and say, "Hey, you are a bad guy." Yeah. Nothing was done. I didn't get into a bad thing. The person didn't challenge me or set me out or do anything towards me. So no police report, nothing. After that, I think the idea is to share with you about having perspective, and having the correct perspective is important. Okay. And of course, the skill set, very important. How do you say no to that kind of situations? To nice money, $500 when I came from a very poor family, $500 for one night. How do you actually say no? How do you know what you are, who you are, what kind of value you stand to say no? So actually, at the end of the day, right, I'm just grateful that I was exposed to this kind of problematics themes in the earlier part of my life. It helped me to be aware of good and bad in people, and how I should respond in different situations to resolve issues in future. So how does understanding actually works? And so how do you understand different perspective? How can you see the link from one meaning to another? How can we connect the dots and understand the meaning behind something? This might sound complicated, but there is an organized way to break down the concept behind understanding something. Often than not, many people tend to derive at a conclusion after knowing different information, and this information can be known as premises. There will be a number of premises that will eventually lead to conclusions. Let me give you a simple example. Assuming premise 1 tell you that people who fail are useless. Premise 2 tell you that I failed. So what does the conclusion mean? The conclusion that you might have in mind is I am useless. Actually, I don't think so. The logic behind this whole concept might be true to certain extent only, but the premises provided might not be. There is nothing to provide that people who fail are useless. So the conclusion doesn't stand. So what am I trying to get at this point? I'm simply showing you that sometimes things might not be the way you think it is. False information can result in inaccurate conclusions. Always know what will be times where such so-called logics conflicts with your goals, and you might face doubts and obstacles to prove to yourself that such logic does not define you. Okay, and I want to share you, quitting school, getting rejected, undergo bankruptcy. Yeah, do I have that kind of problem? Yeah, I might not have that kind of problem, but have I quit school before? Once. What school did I quit? Okay, I actually went on to study Master Applied Finance in Macquarie University. It wasn't easy because I need to get 2 fund managers to become my referral. That was a challenging thing because not easy to get fund manager, and because they are super busy, right? And then I got in. Of course, you need to have a very good honor degree. So I was supposed to have a first class honor to get in. I studied. I finished my first year. I passed. So they actually told me that I can actually go on to second year. So what did I do? I actually dropped out. Yeah, serious. I think a lot of people will not be doing the things that I does. They will continue to finish the second year and then finish their master degree, and then maybe you can print on a name card you have this degree. I really got that green light to be promoted to second year, but I quit. I left school. Why? Okay, you might be saying that, hey, so CD, maybe the degree is about $40,000 and I already spent $20,000. And then what do you get? You don't get anything, no? What do you do? What do you get? Maybe you get a dropout. And people, classmates start saying that, hey, Andrew drop out. I don't think so, because like what I've shared last night about my video stream, I actually shared with you that education is about acquiring knowledge. Education is not about that certifications. It is not that really important. Okay, you might say that, okay, Andrew, you already have so many certificates, you might not need that degree. But frankly, right, I think as long as you're willing, right, nothing can stop you. So I don't think that is an issue to get a certificate for yourself. Then money, 20,000. Is it worth it? I think I paid the money not for the paper. I paid the money for the educations. So when I finish my first year, I already know that I can finish my second year. So the question is, why do I want to spend another 1 year to do that? Because there's also a trade-off. It's not just another $20,000 for the second year, but it's the 1 year that I'm going to do. And if it's something that I expect myself to complete, then why should I be doing? So I make a decision to drop out. Getting rejected. Okay, this is very interesting. I think this is about mindset and perspective. There are really tons of rejection that I acquired. I mean, think about it. When I was a teenager, doing survey, going to stadium to sell drink, doing telemarketing, don't I get rejections? I do. Then do you mean that I'm thick skin, so other people are not thick skin? Actually, it's not. I think it's the mindset and perspective. I think it's important to when people say no to you, right? What does that mean? So when they say no to you, they are not saying no to you. They are just saying no to themselves. That is perspective. That is very, very important. Okay, let me repeat this again. When people say no to you, wrong. People are just saying no to themselves. They didn't say no to you. And this is the problem, that people are too caught up. Why people are worried about rejections? People are worried about rejections because they always think that someone rejected me. They say no to me. Actually, it's not by right. When you ask the person to do something and the person say no, right, the person is just saying that I'm not willing to do so myself. The person is not rejecting you. And this is why people get the wrong perspective. Yeah, a lot of people in this world, I see a lot of people who join the insurance industry, and they always think that people are rejecting them. The whole world is rejecting me. I feel actually it's a perspective. People are not saying no to you. People are just saying no to themselves because I'm not ready to buy insurance. I don't have enough money to buy insurance. Yeah. So why can't they say no? I mean, I would say no as well if I have that issue, right? I don't have money or I don't need the insurance. Why should I say yes? So perspective is important. Having right perspective is important. Okay. Okay. So don't get so caught up about getting rejected. Actually, it's not. Okay. The important thing is look at different perspective and how to go around and how to get people to say yes, because they could have certain kind of concern, or they actually potentially could actually meet certain kind of they might have certain kind of financial needs in insurance, not the insurance that you presented, but it could be another one. So when you have different perspective, it will help to gain more advantage not for yourself but advantage for the person that you're serving, because when you have different perspective, you are actually serving the correct needs of the persons. Don't be narrow-minded and say, oh, I'm rejected, I fail, that's it, forget it, yeah, he reject me. I don't think so. People are just saying no to themselves, not saying no to you. Okay, so don't get too caught up of that. Okay, then bankruptcy. Okay, I think this is something that I would say that when I mean, I've seen so many people, and have I seen people who actually bankrupt? For sure. And why do they bankrupt? Actually, sometimes maybe it's because, you know, the situation that they are in, they got so caught up with their situations. They feel that the whole world is not something that is going to be helping them, and they feel so helpless. So people who are facing bankrupt, they might not actually, it's not suffering from money issue. A lot of them, if you actually go now to their problem, it could be certain kind of issue they are facing. For example, they could be abusive in terms of gambling. So they might have a personal issue. So that's why they actually use the money from their business into gambling, and then they become bankrupt. So what is the issue? The issue is their personal issue, not really the money issue. So a lot of time we actually need to go underneath the issue and then look at what is the things that really stop people from becoming successful and actually went into bankruptcy. So it could be a personal issue, right? Okay, so it is a lot of time the symptom is not the cause. Okay, what is symptom and what is the cause? Okay, so for example, the person have the business bankrupt. So the symptom is the business do not have the cash flow to run. So that is a symptom. But actually, that no cash flow is not the cause. So what is the cause? Maybe the businessman overcommit or didn't know how to handle the money, or maybe he has a personal issue where he's got too emotional and then gamble too much, or didn't put enough time on his work, but instead he was indulging himself for some reason, and that is the cause. Is that the same? I don't think so, right? Cash flow issue and maybe gambling is two different things altogether. So a lot of time, right, you actually have to go underneath and then see what is actually the things that is not helping the person, and in fact the bankruptcy actually set in. Okay, so okay, only good educations give you good life. I don't think so. Okay, I'm a good example. So okay, so you might be asking me, so you are a good example, what do you mean? Okay, first of all, right, I finished my first bachelor degree in engineering, and I only did it for 3 years. Okay, did I not excel? I think I did pretty much quite good. Yeah, I would think that I did quite well as an engineer after 3 years. But did I actually, prove that good education could give me good life? I don't think so. Okay, why? I wasn't happy. I suffered from this hyperthyroid on the year 3 as an engineer. Yeah, my health got deteriorated. I lost 10 kg in a short 2-3 months at the very last final year of my engineering life, and that was when I was 28 years old. Okay, then I decided to quit. I quit without a job, and after that I joined insurance. I know this is what I want to do, so I joined insurance. I didn't straight away jump in, because like anyone out there, for us to join insurance, to make a decision is not easy, right? So I actually did a lot of thinking. and to conclude whether should I give up my engineering and then go to another trade. So I'm a very good example. I start from nothing. Yeah, my education in engineering doesn't really help me to set me up for insurance. I need to restart. I need to go and study. I need to get my certification again. So I got a 3 chartered certifications in financials. Yeah. So does it mean that actually because of the chartered certification I actually become better? Yet again, it's not. My first 5 years when I was doing my insurance, I didn't actually get my chartered cert. I didn't. But I do a lot. I did a lot of study. Yeah, I really study a lot. To the extent that the senior management of the insurance company told the whole agency, "Hey, Andrew is very nerdy." Why did she say that? Her name is Joe. I can't tell you the full name. Okay, anyway, Joe told everyone, "Hey, guys, look at Andrew. He's so nerdy. If he can do it, I think the 400 of you can do it as well." Okay, why Joe said I'm nerdy? Okay, that's the reason, because I was always looking at the computer. I was doing Microsoft Excel, doing comprehensive financial planning, formulas. I was also reading every day. I spent a lot of time reading, studying, and people, even my senior management in the company, said that Andrew is nerdy. So if Andrew can do it, everyone can do it. Okay. So anyway, good education doesn't actually give me a good life. But I think the important thing when I mean, how I did it actually, or how I make it, a lot of time is not good educations. Okay, for example, doing roadshows. There is no books to tell me or train me on doing roadshows. Doing roadshows is not just about the courage, not just about the persistence, not just about passions. Doing roadshow is also about EQ. Yes, how do you build a rapport with a stranger and the person say, "Hey, yeah, I like you. I want to do financial planning with you, and I want to tell you my bank statement. I want to save some money with you." From someone you don't know, after 1 hour, the person give you a check or a credit card to say, "Hey, I want to buy insurance from you." This is not what a good education can teach you. Okay, but then what is there such thing as good education can give me a good life? I think there is some point. Learning the EQ itself. I don't think I have good EQ. I'm born talented EQ. I don't think so. A lot of you will say that, right? Yeah, correct. Yeah, you will say that Andrew EQ. No lah, Andrew have no EQ as well. Okay, but EQ also can be learned. So in a way, I would say that you actually learn on how to have the good EQ, how to actually build rapport, how to actually present on people, how do you actually mirror and build rapport, how to say certain words or look at their body language. These are the EQ that you can learn. So maybe this is a good education. So, but I don't mean good educations in terms of certification will give you good life. No such thing. Okay, I don't think so. Yeah. So be aware. This is not something that it will happen. There's a lot of skill set you need to have before you can do well. It's not the education. Education only give us a fundamental, but not everything. Okay, it will help us to set up to the path, but you will never guarantee for success. Okay, but you need to be aware that none of these great stories happen overnight. Even my personal experiences are gained over years of facing a lot of obstacles and difficulties in my journey. So be prepared to encounter such moments yourself. It takes more than one day to build an empire. In fact, it can be a lifetime. If you can stick to your dreams till the end, you will see greatness at the finishing line. Just like fitness, endures the pain, earn your gains. It is as simple as that. Okay. So I'm saying that it's simple. I didn't say it's easy. Simple and easy is two different things. Okay. But to reach your destinations, habit will play a important role. So I'm going to share with you about habits tomorrow night. Okay, with that, I will end off today's sessions. I hope to see you again tomorrow in my next live stream. Thank you and bye. Yep. Okay, next thing I'm going to share, I hope that, as usual, don't keep me as a secret. Go out and share with your friends, your loved one, and let them know about this. Thank you very much. Good night.